Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. For the Tigers, home is where the wins are. On the current homestand, the Tigers are 4-1. They have a .333 batting average. They've hit well, they've pitched well, and they've won 4 of 5. And it's a gorgeous day for baseball here in the Motor City. Welcome to downtown Detroit. Game 3 of this series featuring the Indians and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us. The Tigers going for the sweep here today, Ron, and if they get it, that would be a nice send-off to the road trip coming up beginning in KC tomorrow.
You know, it's going to be tough in Kansas City. They've got some really good pitching, but here at home, this team just clicking on all cylinders. Outstanding starting pitching, some timely hitting, and the bullpen's kind of stepped up as well.
All right, now Sanchez unable to go today, on a ball with a stiff right shoulder. However, Jose Alvarez comes up from the minor leagues. It'll be fun to watch this guy pitch today.
You know, everything I've heard about Alvarez is the fact that this guy commands the strike zone. He's got a fastball that might get up to 90. He also has an exceptional changeup. He'll feature that pitch here early and often. Here's some of the particulars on Alvarez. He's made a couple of all-star teams back in 2009, also 2011, 2012. He had 3 complete games in the Southern League, so they signed him to a free agent contract in this offseason, and he's pitched very well down in Toledo.
2.42 ERA in Toledo, and for Alvarez, I'm sure the Butterflies are going a little bit here this afternoon as he gets ready to take on the Cleveland Indians in his first Major League start here at Comerica Park this afternoon. Coming up after the short break, we'll send you back to the call, Sam. Shannon Hogan standing by, but the Tigers, in the meantime, pulling out the brooms. Tigers Indians next. His first big league start here at Comerica Park. Final game in this series against the Indians, and we'll check out the starting lineup for the visiting Cleveland Indians today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Michael Bourne, Jason Kipnis, Nick Swisher at the top. Mark Reynolds is cleaning up, and Carlos Santana catching today. Yan Gomes is the designated hitter, and the bottom three for the Tribe, Rayburn, Aviles, and Drew Stubbs back in there this afternoon for the Cleveland Indians. Alvarez today is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And the reason why Alvarez is here is the fact that he earned this start here this afternoon, making his major league debut. Numbers in Toledo were better than anybody else's down there, and that's the one thing Jim always talks about. Whoever's pitching the best or hitting the best, that's who'll get the opportunity, and that would be Jose Alvarez.
It was a sunny afternoon just, I don't know, about an hour ago, but the clouds have rolled in. Don't think there's a threat of rain, but it's become a little bit overcast here at the ballpark today. 73 degrees our game time temp, and the first pitch of the ball game is outside to Michael Bourne.
Alvarez pitching from the stretch, which is uncommon for a starting pitcher at the beginning of a game.
Bourne, Kipnis, and Swisher, the top three in Francona's lineup. There's a strike called, and the count evens at 1-1. Alvarez, 24 years of age, out of Barcelona, Venezuela. He goes 5'11", 180. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Alvarez's fastball will get up to about 91 miles an hour. He's got a breaking ball that he calls a slider, but it's more of a slurve, and his signature pitch is a changeup. It is a plus pitch for him.
Just off the plate. Looked like Rob Drake thought about it, but the home plate umpire would not pull the trigger. There's a bouncing ball to the right side of the infield, scooped up there by Santiago. Bourne is out by a step.
Let's take a look at the starting defense here behind Jose Alvarez this afternoon. You have Santiago and Infante up the middle. You have Prince and Miguel. On the corners in the infield, the outfield reads Dirks, Kelly, and Torrey Hunter, and Alex Avila catching the young left-hander this afternoon.
Here's the number 2 hitter, Jason Kipnis. 3 out of 8 in the series. He's knocked in 3 against Detroit, and he looks at ball 1. Kipnis batting .244, 8 home runs. Started off very slowly this year, hit just 200 in the month of April, but then came on in May, and he sends a ground ball to second base. Santiago handles the first 2 chances of the ball game, 2 gone. I beg your pardon, Infante, not Santiago. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Swisher, who is really battling it right now. 0 for 24. For 8 in this series with a walk. And Swisher, the switch hitter, batting right-handed against the lefty. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a strike call. 1 ball, 1 strike on Swisher. Make it 1-2.
Good pitch there. Cut fastball at 86 miles an hour. And from Alvarez, we've been told that he will throw this pitch. And not afraid to pitch inside.
Alvarez, more than 7 years in the minor leagues before getting this opportunity, his first at the major league level.
Good numbers in the minor leagues, especially the strikeouts to walks ratio.
The 1-2 is bouncing in.
Before this season began, 563 strikeouts for Alvarez and just 185 base on balls.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Tigers in search of the sweep here after winning the first 2 games in the series. The 2-2. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
We'll see how much confidence he has in his changeup if Avila decides to call it here on the 3-2 pitch to Nick Swisher.
Fouled it off.
And Tigers starting pitching has been absolutely dominant this series, and one of the reasons why Nick Swisher has not done very well. Just not making real good consistent contact, and when he does make contact, he hits it right at somebody.
Here's the 3-2 again, and it's fouled back out of play. So Swisher keeping this at bat going, trying to get it to the cleanup man Mark Reynolds, who's waiting on deck. Tigers in each of the first 2 games in the series have put up 12 hits. Now again the 3-2. And a swing and a miss, and Swisher's struggles continue. First big league strikeout for Alvarez. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Here comes Masterson. To the bottom of the first inning, Prince Fielder getting set hopefully to do some damage in this first inning. We'll check out the starting lineups for the Tigers, or lineup. Brought to you by your Michigan Ford dealers. And it's Dirks, Hunter, and Cabrera at the top. Fielder is in the middle along with Victor Martinez and Don Kelly getting the start in center field. Today it's Avila, Santiago, and Infante rounding out the lineup for Detroit, and they are facing the right-hander Justin Masterson.
He's their ace. He was their opening day starter not only this year but last year as well. 8 wins, 4 losses, 3.57 earned run average. Lots of strikeouts as well. Heavy sinker and a much improved slider that Masterson is featuring these days.
First pitch is rolled foul off the bat of Andy Dirks. Getting the start in left field and batting leadoff again in this one. Andy's had 19 RBIs this year. 11 of them have come from the leadoff spot. There's a chopper hit to the shortstop. Aviles has it there, and he'll throw to first in time.
Let's take a look at the Cleveland Indians starting defense, sponsored by Tim Hortons. In the outfield, you have Rayburn, who played right field yesterday. He's in left today. Stubbs back out in right. Michael Bourne in the center. In the infield, you have Reynolds, Aviles, Kipnis, and Swisher, and Carlos Santana, a very talented switch-hitting catcher with power behind the dish.
Stubbs played in game 1 and is playing here in game 3. And a strike called on Torrey Hunter. Batting .304, a couple of homers this year. He's had a good series. 4 out of 9. That one sails outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We talked a lot about Ben Verlander yesterday being drafted by the Tigers, but it was Torrey Hunter's son as well who was drafted by Detroit a little later.
There's a wave and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Torrey.
Sure, he was a proud papa this morning.
David Chadd, the vice president of amateur scouting for the Detroit Tigers, will join us in the 3rd, and he'll give us a recap of how the Tigers did in the draft this year. They were certainly heavy pitching in the 1st round.
And David Chadd has done marvelous work in head of the drafts for the Tigers since he's come over here.
Two on Torrey. Hunter this year has put up good numbers against the Indians. 344. And the 2-2. Masterson is a big guy, 6'6", 250, born in Kingston, Jamaica. And he is the first pitcher ever born in Jamaica to make it to the big leagues. 28 years of age and the staff ace for the Indians. Torrey hits one on the ground to second, right at Kipnis. 2 up, 2 down, and as the script goes, a couple of ground ball outs already for Masterson.
And one of the things Masterson's really improved on is the fact that he is doing a much better job this year against left-handed batters. And you can see in 2010, 11, and 12, left-handers kind of had their way against Justin, but not anymore. Much improved slider is the reason why.
Miguel Cabrera pops up the first pitch, shallow right field. Kipnis going back, calling for it, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Masterson. Let's go to the 2nd. This series, and Jose Alvarez goes back to the hill. He will face Mark Reynolds to start things off. Alvarez, a good start to his major league career. His first big league start, a 1-2-3 first inning. A couple of ground balls and a strikeout. Reynolds batting the cleanup slot, 13 homers this year, and he looks at ball 1. Reynolds, Santana, and then Yan Gomes in the 2nd for the Tribe, who come in under 500 now at 30 and 31. The Tigers at 34 and 26. Check swing. He did not go, according to Joe West.
Already a couple of really good changeups thrown by Alvarez. Alex Avila told me before the game that is probably his best pitch.
Here's the 2-0. Fastball that he swings through, 2-1. Reynolds, a couple of hits in the series. He has scored a run.
When you got that changeup coming in at about 78 miles an hour, that 90-mile-per-hour fastball Reynolds just swung through. Looks like it's about 95.
2-2 on Reynolds. Jim Leyland before the game today saying, when asked what he remembered from Alvarez in spring training, was a guy with good command. He changed speeds really well, and he wasn't afraid in spring training.
That's big up here.
Here's the 2-2 again. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's Santana waiting on deck. A Tiger win today, and they would win all but one on this homestand. And there's ball 4. So the first base runner for Cleveland is a leadoff walk here in the second.
Yeah, nice clean delivery here for Alvarez. Little hip turn, and it gives him a little deception.
Alvarez getting the opportunity today. Anibal Sanchez unable to make his start today because of a stiff shoulder, which hopefully will not keep him out more than one start. Carlos Santana stands in. There's a strike call.
Had the Tigers needed an emergency starter earlier in the year, it would have been Drew Smyly. But Smyly not stretched out nearly far enough now in June for the Tigers to give him that start here today.
That's in for a strike. 0-2.
In the future, however, Drew Smyly might be the guy that gets stretched out should they need more starts out of anybody, with any of the participants in the rotation not able to go.
Here's the 0-2. Jim was asked before the game today, what do you expect out of Alvarez? What are you hoping for? And he said, well, the guy was pitching every 5th day down in AAA. We expect him to give us 6, 7 good innings. We'll go from there. The Tigers could have made it a bullpen day today and pieced together this start, but Alvarez certainly pitched well enough to get this opportunity. And his chop foul, third base side.
And much better giving him the opportunity than kind of messing up your bullpen.
1-2 the count on Carlos Santana. Should Sanchez need any more time, and the hope is he won't, and it doesn't turn into anything that would make him miss more than one start. As Santana swings and misses for the out, 1 gone.
Here's today's high-speed stat brought to you by Charter Internet. And the least amount of starters used this year and the most in Major League Baseball, Toronto and Baltimore, have already used 11 different starters. The Tigers, with Alvarez going today, just number 6. And Atlanta has used the fewest.
2 strikeouts already now for Alvarez. Here is Yan Gomes, the Cleveland DH, and he looks at ball 1 outside. Gomes at 294, a little bit of pop in his bat, 6 home runs.
You were starting a story about should they need some more starts out of somebody, Jim said.
Well, the hope is Sanchez will only miss 1 start, but in the future, if indeed the Tigers do need some more starts, Smyly would be sent down to lengthen out and get in pitching shape in terms of starting a game. They don't anticipate that'll be the case, but you know, it's a nice thing to have a guy like Drew Smyly. And then the skipper also said, you know, sometimes you got to weigh what's best for the kid and what's best for the organization. And right now, what's best for the organization to have Drew pitch out of the bullpen. But there is that thing that you go through as a manager. You know, you want to do what's good for the kid as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
As you said, really pleasant problem to have a guy like Smyly who could start for you if you really need him to.
Skipper keeping a very close eye on what he has today. And Jose Alvarez. Here's the 1-2, a swing and a miss, and there are 2 gone.
That changeup. at 78. You're going to get some of these Cleveland Indians hitters start to look for this pitch, but I don't think they're going to be able to hit it. And you can see the grip, circle change, good arm speed, good arm action with that pitch. Fades down and away from the right-hander.
Here is Ryan Rayburn, batting .291. Rayburn, 3 RBIs in this series. Sends a ground ball left side, charging at third Cabrera. He'll flip to second for the fourth to retire the side. So far so good for Jose Alvarez. In this one, Prince Fielder will start things off for Detroit. Had a big blow yesterday in the Tigers' big second inning.
Yeah, the month of May wasn't a very good month for Prince as far as the batting average is concerned, but the month of June, he's gotten off to a pretty good start. Cabrera was walked yesterday, and Prince Fielder comes up with another big hit.
8 out of 20 on the homestand. That's a cool 400 for Prince. Fielder, Martinez, and then Kelly here in the second against Masterson. We've got the Tigers 1-2-3 in the first inning. And the first pitch is in for strike one, and Prince thought it was a little bit high. 2 out of 9 in the series for Fielder, and they play him straight up, no shift. There's a chopper back up the middle. Take that, says the Prince. Leadoff single. Now, Terry Francona's team has dipped below the 500 mark for the first time in a while. In fact, for the first time since May 1st. He's in his first year as the skipper of the Indians. And I would imagine it's got to be a much different feel managing in Cleveland as opposed to Boston.
No doubt about that. Not nearly the pressure that you manage.
But he was able to manage that pressure to 2 World Series titles before it came to an end for him there.
Has some good players too now.
That always helps. Here's Victor Martinez. Swing and a miss.
You got Pedro, and you've got Schilling, and you've got Beckett. You've got some really good players.
The standings on May 20th had the Tigers 2.5 back. Fast forward to today, they're 4.5 up. It's been quite a change the last 3 weeks in the Central. And the Tigers can bump that up by a game with a win here today. Here's the 0-1. Masterson was roughed up at his last start. He gave up 7 runs at Yankee Stadium in 6 1/3. Nine hits, walked 3 in that game, but by and large it has been a really good year for him. 3.5 ERA. It slides low, and the count goes 2-1. He was acquired from the Boston Red Sox in a 2009 deadline deal that involved current Tiger DH Victor Martinez, the man he is facing right now.
And Terry Francona was his manager at that time, and Masterson was pitching out of the bullpen for the Boston Red Sox.
He slings another one inside and low, and the count goes 3-1. Here are the particulars, or some of them at least, in that trade. Nick Hagedorn was part of that trade as well. Three and one on Victor. And he lost him, and now the Tigers have the first two men on. 3 walks in his last start. Masterson has one already in this game. He's going to bring up Don Kelly. Jim Leyland today loading his lineup with as many lefties as he can. Kelly gets the nod over Garcia, and Don's numbers against Masterson not all that bad. 353. Got him batting in the 6 hole in this one. And he takes strike one.
Must be a gut feel today for Jim, loading his lineup with as many left-handers as he can, with the fact that Masterson has done much better this year against lefties.
385 with men in scoring position this year for Don Kelly. And he looks at one low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Really, by and large, the Tigers have several guys in their lineup today that have done pretty good work against Masterson. Kelly is one of them. Cabrera does good work against everybody. He's another one. Pulled foul as he rips that one toward the tarp. 94 for Masterson there. 1-2 on Don Kelly. Avila will be next. Fouled it off, and he stays alive. Masterson a couple of years ago won 12 games in 2011, had an ERA a little bit over 3, but he took a step back last year. Earned run average was nearly 5. This year he's back on track. And he missed outside. 2-2.
When Masterson delivered that last pitch to Don Kelly, he was still looking at Prince Fielder, therefore never able to pick up his target, and that's probably why he threw that ball outside.
And the 2-2 low. 3-2. There's Avila waiting on deck. Tigers have an opportunity here in the second. Keep in mind the second inning yesterday is when they scored 4 times against Carlos Carrasco. Fielder has singled and Martinez has walked. And he walked him. That's going to load the bases. Back-to-back base on balls. Nobody out. And Santana will make a visit to the mound here. So Masterson, after a snappy 1-2-3 first, is in some hot water here in the second, and his ratio after 24 is 14 strikes, 10 balls. It'll bring up Avila. Ironically, Masterson is 6 for 6 in first pitch strikes. Golden opportunity here for Alex, who's had 3 hits on the homestand. And he shoots one in the air to center field on a line. Bourne is right there. Runner will tag. Here comes Prince. And he will score. It's a sacrifice fly for Alex Avila. And 1-0 Detroit. Oh, looked like he might have knuckled a little bit on Bourne. It was hit so hard.
It's a nice idea here, and it pays dividends for Avila because he had walked the previous 2 batters. You still look for your first pitch fastball. If you get it, see if you can hit it deep enough to score the run, which Avila did.
13th RBI for Alex Avila. First out of the inning, and here is Ramon Santiago. He's busted inside 1-0.
Yeah, Peralta 1 for 15 in his career against Masterson, so he gets the afternoon off, which is a really good rest day for him. Santiago not much better, but he can handle the bat.
Now the 1-0. Masterson right here would love a double play ball, and if he could get out of this, allowing just 1 run, it would be a victory for Masterson. Santiago batting just 159 coming in. Wave and a miss. 1-2.
There are certain days when you come to the ballpark, and if you're a starter like Johnny Peralta, you really want to play, but you know you haven't had a whole lot of success against Masterson. So if you don't see your name in the lineup, you're not all that mad.
Here's the 1-2. High 2-2. And there have been guys over the years against Masterson that Leland will give a day off because it's just not a good matchup, or if a guy is going good like Johnny is, might as well give him the day off instead of facing a guy he has struggled against. Here's the 2-2. Whistle foul. One nothing Tigers lead. Sac fly by Avila. Masterson now 20 pitches in this inning after throwing just 10 in the first. Missed inside. 3-2. Omar Infante waiting on deck. Masterson over the years only 2-6 versus Detroit. ERA over 5. Runners go, and a bouncing ball hit to the right side. Swisher has it. He'll tag the back for the out, and the runners will advance. 2 gone. Well, get ready, fans, for Fox Sports 1, America's new 24-hour sports network. Fox Sports 1 will be your home for great live sports. All the news and highlights that you want, shows and specials that only Fox can bring you. America's new sports network at Fox Sports 1. It is coming August 17th. So it'll take a 2-out hit now from Omar Infante. 2 men in scoring position. Omar batting an even .300. Five-game hit streak now for Infante. Double and a single in yesterday's ball game. Here's the 1-0. Shot to center field. Sinking Bourne coming on. Makes the running catch. And so that's it for Detroit. They will settle for 1 run. And you're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. Park. Tigers on top 1-0 over the Cleveland Indians, and it's our pleasure to welcome in David Chad, the Vice President of Amateur Scouting for the Detroit Tigers, a guy who's probably gotten zero sleep the last 2 or 3 days. But congratulations, the draft has finally come to an end this year, and give us your impressions of how the draft 2013 went for the Detroit Tigers.
It went good. I think we're happy. We're always happy right after the draft. We're excited about the prospects we're bringing in the organization, and you know, it was a long week putting together the board, but we're very excited in the end of who we selected.
And it appeared that, again, you went heavy pitching. Your first 7 picks were pitching. However, they were all college pitchers, too.
Yeah, it just kind of fell that way with our board. We never go into the draft designing high school, college. We're looking to get the best player available.
Talk about your – oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
And that's just how it fell for us this year. The way the dynamics of the draft works, you never know really how it's going to go until it gets going. But the college pitching just kind of fell into order.
Explain the biggest differences as to why you may want to go with a high school pitcher versus a college pitcher or vice versa.
Well, I think the general theory is if you select a college pitcher, it's going to be a quicker path to the big leagues. Typically, high school pitchers will take a little more time to develop and get to the major league level. Now, Rick Porcello proved all of us wrong on that, but he's not your typical high school pitcher as far as the development process goes. So that's really the difference, Rod. If you're taking advanced college pitchers, they really should get there relatively quicker.
Mike Aviles leading things off here for the Indians. We play in the third, and we're chatting with David Chad and talking about the Tigers draft, which was just completed. As that ball is sliced to center field, Don Kelly moving over and 1 gone. Well, let's talk about the first pick overall that you had, and that would be Jonathan Crawford. What do you like about him, and what made him high on your list?
Well, Jonathan Crawford was somebody that we'd been focusing on for 2 years. His international experience, his experience against pitching against teams like Team Cuba, and also what he did his summer of his sophomore year and his junior year. We take the whole body of work, put it into it, and happy to get Jonathan Crawford. He's got 2 power pitches, fastball that's been up to 97, slider that's been up to 89. And we feel very, very good about adding Jonathan Crawford to the organization.
Is he a guy that might need to find a changeup at some point in time?
He will. He has one. We worked him out close to the draft, and we specifically asked to see it, and he does have it. Just in college baseball, right, when you have those power pitches like he has, that'll get you by. And that's what his go-to pitches were, fastball, slider. He will need to continue to develop the changeup at the lower levels.
Talk about his slider, because if you listen to all the experts, and there are so many of them out there, David, the slider is the one pitch they talk about with him.
Yeah, it is a plus slider for me. It's the velocity and the power and the angle and the depth to it that makes it his go-to pitch with 2 strikes. He's comfortable with it. He likes to throw it. He's, like I said, he's very confident in the pitch. And, you know, when we're out looking at college pitchers, high school pitchers, we want to see both. We want to see the fastball, the breaking ball, and obviously the changeup too. How they do it and when they use it is important to us as well.
Talking with David Chad, who is the Vice President of Amateur Scouting for the Detroit Tigers. There's a name that everybody recognizes, David, and you know we're going to get to this, but Ben Verlander was selected in the 14th round. Ben really made himself a player this year, didn't he?
He did. He did. He really did. He went out and had a good year with the bat. Our scouts like his swing. They think he's going to have some power down the road. And he just comes with the same last name as Justin. But this guy can play. It's definitely not a courtesy draft. We drafted Ben on his talent. And we're excited to get him in the organization.
21 years old. Of course, Ben had a big year with 11 homers this year, hit .367 for Old Dominion, and kind of hopefully following in his brother's footsteps. And who knows, maybe here in Detroit someday with his brother. But, you know, when you talk about guys that you scout, obviously, when we look at all these picks, a lot of them play in the South, they play in the West because they play baseball year-round. How difficult is it to scout kids from the Midwest or, say, the Northeast?
Well, it is difficult just by the climate you're dealing with. Kids typically start later up in the Northeast, and they got to deal with, at times, unbearable conditions, and this year might have been the worst with the weather. So it is tough. You know, you have the comfort of going to the South to see the kids play in warmer weather, see them play more. So that gives you a little comfort zone when you're evaluating those kids from the South.
What would be, for Ben Verlander, what would be like the progression for him now? If he decides to sign, what will you do with a guy like that?
He'll go to Connecticut, and we're going to get him playing some outfield, play some first base, move him around the diamond a little bit. And really the progression with Ben's going to be just like all these other guys. They'll dictate to us when and how fast they're going to move by their performance on the field.
Michael Bourne batting here with 2 outs in the third. The Tigers on top by a score of 1-0. I guess you guys are already prepping for next year's draft.
We did. Yeah. we had a 2-hour meeting last night with all the scouts, and we're starting next season today.
All right, David, really appreciate the visit. Best of luck with all the new prospects you got. Thanks very much for spending some time with us.
Thanks, Mario.
All right, that's David Chad and his thoughts on the draft. We'll be back. All right, Shannon, thank you. Here it is 1-0, and we've seen some really good work early on here from Jose Alvarez, who has 5 strikeouts already in this game.
Well, it comes to a staff that has racked up a ton of strikeouts itself, and I guess he's just doing his best to fit in with the other Tiger starters.
And fit in he has. Masterson back to work now. We go to the bottom of the third. Tigers have a run on 1 hit. Andy Dirks leads it off. Dirks, Hunter, Cabrera, the top 3 in the Detroit lineup. There's a wave and a miss. 93-mile-an-hour fastball right by.
You know, David Chad, who just visited us up in the booth, he has 20 players that he's drafted since he's been with Boston or with Florida or now here with the Tigers that have gotten to the big leagues, that are in the big leagues currently playing. It's a really good record for your scouting director because obviously everybody doesn't get to the big leagues.
No, his resume is impeccable. There's no question. He's a former player, played at Kansas State, coached there as well. The 1-2 is swung out and missed, and Dirks is out, 1 gone.
That's the pitch that has really improved for Masterson. The breaking ball and the changeup to the left-handed batter is one of the reasons why he's having a really good season. That's a slider that's kind of flat, but he's getting more tilt with his breaking ball because he's staying on top of it.
There's Torrey Hunter, who is 0 for 1. He bounced out back in the first inning. Masterson really did a good job of pitching through some trouble in the second. He loaded the bases with nobody out. 2 of those guys reached on walks, and he ends up giving up 1 run. Here's the 0-1 to Torrey. Ooh, right back up the middle into center field. The old chuck and duck for Masterson. 1 on, 1 out.
A nice adjustment made here by Torrey Hunter. On the previous sinker ball, he tried to pull that ball and he fouled it down the third baseline. This particular sinker, it's down and in, but he stays with it and hits it right back up the middle. That's the approach you want against a guy that's got heavy sink down and in to the right-handed batter. You want to try to stay with it and hit it the other way.
Does Torrey's swing seem a little bit shorter the last couple of days?
After he's got that 300 home run out of his mind, I think he has gotten a few base hits up the middle and to right field lately. But he was swinging big there for a minute. And here's short and quick. He knows he's going to get that sinker. Pulls his hands in real close to the body.
So now Cabrera with 1 on 1 out. Mickey popped up in the first. Ball 1. One for 7 in the series now for Cabrera. 89 hits leads the American League, and Miguel is on pace for 236 hits this year. He had 205 last year, the first time he reached the 200 plateau. And the 1-1. 1-2 on Cabrera. Miggy just 1 of 6 guys. He's 11 for 29 now that he's had good numbers against Masterson.
Yeah, you gave Masters his overall numbers against Tigers, and they're not real good. ERA over 5 in his career against Tigers batters.
Torrey's got 3 homers against him. Here's the 1-2. Ooh, he got him to chase. Breaking ball, and Cabrera is out. Will be the second strikeout of the inning.
A good breaking pitch here by Masterson. Gets on top of it, and ball has some pretty good depth to it. And coming into today, 50 strikeouts on the breaking ball for Justin Masterson, which is second only to Derek Holland of the Texas Rangers.
Fielder looks at strike 1. It was Prince that got it going in the second with a leadoff single.
When you have one good pitch, and Masterson had a really good fastball, good sinker, you can compete in the major leagues. But when you add that second pitch and sometimes the third pitch, that's when you become a really big winner in the big leagues.
Sky to center field straight at Michael Bourne, and that will end it for the Tigers here in the third. No runs and a hit, 1 man left.
Brought to you by Head and Shoulders, and Jose Alvarez, making his major league debut, has 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. Got them on a variety of different pitches, couple on changeups, couple on breaking balls. Fastball gets up to 91 miles an hour. Also has a nice little cutter.
Welcome, Mr. Alvarez. Tigers fans welcoming in their new left-hander from CLE Toledo. And so far so good. He has fanned 5. He's given up just 1 walk, the walk to Reynolds, the only base runner for Cleveland so far. Kipnis offering a bunt, pulled it back in time, 1-0. Kipnis, Swisher, Reynolds, 2, 3, 4 for the Cleveland Indians. Here's the 1-0. Alvarez signed as a minor league free agent in November by the Tigers. He was in the Miami system last year. Right back to the mound. Well, he's making it look easy. One out. Here is the Farmers Insurance report card as we look at some of the 2013 ranks among Tigers minor leaguers for Alvarez.
He earned this call up with those numbers.
Pretty good whip right there. 1.01. Opponent's batting .216. And here he is. So far, he is buzzed right through the Cleveland lineup. Here's Swisher. Ball 1 to Swisher, who struck out in the first inning, now 0 for 9 in this series. Bouncing ball left side, behind the bag, Cabrera. In time for the out, 2 gone.
As Jim Leland always likes to say, it's not who you play, but when you play them. And right now, this Cleveland team just kind of reeling. And the Tigers caught them at the right time.
Well, they are indeed reeling, and if the Tigers win today, they would have swept the Indians, and all Cleveland has waiting for them is a trip to Texas next. They'll take on the Rangers in Arlington. Here's Mark Reynolds with 2 outs. Strike 1. This Cleveland team came in having lost 6 consecutive games, 12-19 on the road this year. Ball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2. Alvarez last year at Jacksonville walked only 26 in 136 innings. You see his breakdown here. So typically in the minors had not hurt himself with base on balls. That one just missed. 2 and 2. A little bit outside. Got him, strike 3. Reynolds caught looking. 6 punch outs already for Jose Alvarez. An impressive debut so far. Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. By Chrysler, imported from Detroit. And by Country Fresh Ice Cream Squares, share a pure moment. Tiger fans able to share a moment with their favorite players. Today it was photo day here at the ballpark.
There was a lot of people on the field too.
Yeah, they were all over the outfield, and when Justin Verlander made his appearance, well, they started clapping really loud.
He's a rock star, you know.
He is that, and he proved it again today. Victor Martinez leading it off as we go to the bottom of the fourth. The Tigers up by a run. 1 run, 2 hits Detroit. No runs, no hits Cleveland. Martinez with a base on balls, but did not score back in the second. Masterson was living on the edge in the second, loaded him up with nobody out and gave up just the 1 run. It has suddenly gotten very windy and overcast here. Temperature, though, still says 72. 2-0. Victor now 6 for his last 12. And he sends a ground ball up the middle, base hit. 7 for his last 13.
And not only is he getting base hits, but some extra base hits as well. He's played long ball a couple of times on this homestand. He's also doubled. And he's just got some really good bat speed coming through that strike zone right now. Batting average up over 240 now for Victor.
It'll be the third Tigers hit. Here is Don Kelly, who walked in the second. Runner goes, and a ground ball foul. Jim Leland using a hit and run. 0-1. That's an even 50 now for Masterson.
His breakdown's pretty good too. Only 18 have missed the strike zone for the Cleveland A's.
One ball, 1 strike on Don Kelly. Kelly hits one in the air, middle of the infield. Aviles, 1 step onto the grass, and Kelly retired. Hey, by the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game. It's presented by the new Detroit Tigers M&M McFlurry, and it's only at McDonald's. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you'd like, vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Jose Alvarez has to be one of the leading contenders right now. In his first big league start, 4 scoreless innings with 6 strikeouts. Here's Avila, who is responsible for the game's only run so far with a sac fly. That's drilled to center field. Bourne is on the run, and he'll get there to the gap in left center. That's 2 hard hit balls to center field for Avila.
It's a good sign.
Two down now for Santiago. Strike called on Ramon. Fastball up that caught the corner. Santiago bounced out 3 unassisted. It was back in the second inning. That one stayed up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Masterson now 13 of 17 in first pitch strikes. He's been much better than Alvarez in that respect, but Alvarez has been lights out. There's a bouncer right back to the mound. Masterson will handle this one. And the inning is over for Detroit. No runs, 1 hit. On to the 5th we go. Picnic at an upcoming Tigers game. 2 new party plazas are available to accommodate picnics for up to 300 people. Groups of 15 or more also get discounted tickets to select games. Call 313-471-2255, or if you'd like, visit tigers.com. And you'll be as happy as that guy right there. Another nice crowd here today on a warm but overcast day here at the ballpark. Tigers lead 1-0. Top 5 here, and it brings us to our AT&T trivia question as Santana settles in. Which 2 Dominican-born catchers have hit more career home runs than Carlos Santana? There have been 2 Dominican-born catchers that have hit more. Try and figure that one out. We'll give you the answer in a little bit. Santana rips one foul down the third base line. Santana, then Gomes, and then Rayburn as we play here in the 5th. Six strikeouts already for Jose Alvarez. He got him 1-2-3 in the 4th. 1-2-3 in the 3rd. 1-2-3 in the 1st. Now the 1-1. To center field. Kelly is on the move. Still going back. All the way to the warning track. 1 out.
A lot of real estate out in center field for Don Kelly. He had to cover. And he's done nice work in center field in the absence of Jackson. Speaking of Jackson, they announced that he's going to start a rehab assignment tomorrow for Toledo in Rochester.
Well, that's great news, and certainly they will welcome him back. And there's a possibility, if all goes well, that he could meet the team in Minneapolis on the next road trip. But it all has to go well for that to happen. But really, in the interim, when you're talking about defense, Kelly's made some nice plays. We saw Garcia make a couple of nice plays yesterday.
Everybody's kind of held it down while Jackson's been out, and we expected as much. They've got a quality team. Yes, they do miss Austin Jackson in the way that he can play center field and lead off, but the team's doing well. They're 4.5 games in first place right now.
0-2 on Yan Gomes. Just off the plate, 1-2.
Which is the main reason why Jim refused to rush Jackson back. Wanted to give him as much time as he needed.
Swing and a miss. Gomes is out of there. 7 strikeouts now for Alvarez.
And he's gotten his strikeouts with a variety of different pitches. The two-seamer, the slider, the changeup. This guy is as good as advertised. He's pitching exactly the way that we heard he was pitching down in Toledo, and not afraid at all.
The 7th K has been added to the rating. Strike one on Ryan Rayburn.
So many times you get young kids that come to the big leagues that are pitching well in the minor leagues, and for whatever reason, when they come up here, you add that third deck and those bright lights, they just don't command the strike zone.
That ball's hit deep, way back and left and gone beyond the bullpen. Ryan Rayburn has come back to the Motor City and has hit home runs in back-to-back games. And that's their first hit and their first run. Homer number 7 for Rayburn.
It looked like he tried to backdoor Rayburn with a breaking ball, got too much plate with it, and the way that Rayburn's swinging the bat these days, you can't make a mistake in that area.
First hit of the ball game for the Cleveland Indians leaves the ballpark. Ball outside to Micah Vilas.
And Ryan Rayburn was pretty much a second half player when the Tigers had him in their uniform, but off to a good start with his new club, the Indians.
Micah Vilas fly to center field back in the 3rd. And he missed it outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Alvarez in the minor leagues for his career was 10 over the 500 mark record wise, and his career minor league ERA 3.5. There's a strike, 3-1. He has stepped onto a big league field today. He's pitched with a good pace. He has racked up 7 strikeouts. Here's the 3-1. A little number off the end of the bat. Alvarez will handle this one. And that'll take care of the Indians. However, they tie it up on the home run by Ryan Rayburn. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. The 5th inning, and we do invite you to join us again tomorrow. The Tigers heading to Kansas City to take on the Royals. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock with Tigers Live. Tigers Royals tomorrow at 7 right here on Fox Sports Detroit. And here's what awaits the Detroiters. 3 in KC, off day Thursday. 3 in Minnesota coming up. That's where the Tigers will spend next week. First pitch from Masterson is inside to Omar Infante. Omar, then Dirks, then Hunter. For 1 for Infante, fly to center field back in the second. Masterson has really had only one troublesome inning. That was in the second when he gave up the run. Grounded to third, and right there is Reynolds. One gone. We'll bring up Andy Dirks. Strikeout, ground out for Dirks. Ball 1.
Pretty good day yesterday for Andy Dirks. He drove in the Tigers' first run. It was a second inning. It was a 3-0 pitch, and he got a base hit right back up the middle. And later on, singled again and drove in another run.
One and two on Dirks. And a bouncing ball to third. Reynolds has this one as well. Another ground ball out for Masterson. So here is Torrey Hunter. Torrey 1 out of 2, had a single back in the third. Still looking for homer number 300. Strike 1.
Those milestone home runs are always the toughest to get.
Strike 2. Well, the pressure seems to mount. It's kind of like going after your 3,000th hit or any other milestone. Hunter may have changed his swing a bit to try and get to 300. That one has popped up. See if it stays in play, and it will not. Back into the dugout. 0-2 the count.
Another packed house at Comerica Park this afternoon. A sellout last night, wasn't it?
It was. Last night's gathering was 41,691. This one's going to be right there with that number. Photo day before the game today, always popular. Checked it. Well, after the appeal, they'll get it, but he didn't go. Here's the 1-2 pitch. We'll break outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Only 4 hits between the two teams. Alvarez and Masterson have done pretty good work. Each team with a run. Here's the 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. Right over the top. 1-2-3 go the Tigers. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's new Market Fresh Turkey Bacon Florentine Sandwich. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire, the lowest tire price period. Bell Tire. Using over the Detroit River. And 1-1 is our score as we go to the top of the 6th inning. It's a great view of downtown Detroit on what is a cloudy, overcast day, but no big deal. Temperature in the 70s. Fans hanging out at K-Line's Corner, having some fun today. A lot of folks in the standing room area only, or standing room only areas, and they are packed in again like sardines into the ballpark. Alvarez will head back to the mound, and he is facing Drew Stubbs. The pitch count coming into this inning was dead even at 69. Alvarez now has thrown 70 pitches. And the numbers, aside from the strikeouts, very similar. Jose has fanned 7 in his big league debut. Stubbs, one of those strikeout victims. Here's the 2-0. 2 balls, 1 strike on the former Cincinnati Red and former Texas Longhorn. That's where he played his college ball. In fact, won the College World Series in 2005. Stubbs, good speed, has power. And the 2-1. Drilled to left field. That ball is hooking. Foul. 2-2 on Stubbs. Stubbs has a home run in the series. Came in the 9th inning of game 1 against Valverde, a solo shot. He and Giambi hit solo shots. Ground ball to third. Right there is Cabrera. Quick as a cat. 1 out. Let's go back to the studio now for a game break. Shannon Hogan. Shannon, thank you. Here it is 1-1.
And 3rd time through the batting order for the Cleveland Indians. We'll see if they make any adjustments against Alvarez. They have started to hit some balls a little bit harder against him.
If you were to make an adjustment against Alvarez, what would you do?
I'd probably get a little closer to the plate, being a right-handed batter. Although he has thrown a couple of fastballs inside to the right-handers, by and large, everything has been away. So I would scoot up a little closer to the dish, and that ball that's away would look like it's right down the middle to me.
1 ball, 1 strike on Bourne.
But you don't see many guys moving in the batter's box these days. Guys just kind of get there, and regardless of who the pitcher is, they just kind of stand in one spot. Guys used to move around in the batter's box a little bit to get the pitch they wanted to hit.
There's a chopper hit to the right side. He gobbled up there by Infante. Here's the Bernstein Advantage scouting report on some of the Indians and how they've done against pitchers making their major league debuts. Drew Stubbs had the best numbers. Of course, Giambi over the years has handled guys making their first major league start.
And Rayburn. And he got a homer here today. He's on that list too.
But the Indians today are 1 for 18 with a homer. Here's Kipnis. You were talking about guys that move around in the batter's box. The one guy that really I remember that did that a lot was Cal Ripken. He would move all over the place, change batting stances.
And you also kind of play games with the catcher too when you do that. An example of that is if you have a guy on the mound like an Alvarez who works exclusively away to most right-handers, if you get on top of the plate, and really what you're telling them is you don't think they're going to throw the ball inside. And so then you can even look inside because they're going to go there, and you just don't miss your pitch when you get it.
Here's the 2-0. Ball high, 3-0 on Kipnis. Saw the pitch count on Alvarez. Now it's at 81. Swisher waiting on deck. Three and 1. Kipnis today has put the ball on the ground twice, 0 for 2. Stroke to center field, base hit.
If you tuned in a little bit later today, Jose Alvarez in the first inning, he struck out Nick Swisher, and he's pretty much going to show you all of his pitches right here in this pitch sequence. It's our Bell Tire pitch sequence. Cutters in, breaking balls down, and a real good fading changeup to get strike 3 to finish him off.
One of 7 strikeouts today for Jose Alvarez, a native of Venezuela, just 24 years old. In for strike 1.
Tigers have quite a few players on their current roster from Venezuela. I'm sure that's one of the reasons why it was inviting for Jose Alvarez when looking for a team as a free agent in the offseason to pick the Tigers. A lot of support here.
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Swisher.
Yeah, Swisher just in between. Out in front of the breaking balls, late on the fastballs. Just going through one of those real bad stretches that all players go through during the course of the regular season if you play every day.
Smiley Pekonen warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Swisher with his 0 for 2 today is 0 for his last 26. One run, 3 hits for Detroit. 1 run, 2 hits for the Indians. We're in the 6th inning.
I would think that Alvarez has a little bit better move than that last move that he gave to Kipnis, who's at first base.
When you're in a stretch like Swisher is in right now, and we mentioned he's 0 for his last 26, he's probably getting some advice from a lot of folks, isn't he?
Oh, for sure.
Neighbors, the neighbor's dog,
the wife,
uncle's the wife,
his 2-week-old daughter.
Okay, that's pushing it. As if the dog wasn't pushing it.
No, but when you go home at night, when you have a 2-week-old daughter, though, I mean, you get a smile on your face regardless of what happens at work. And I think that's what keeps some of these guys grounded, is the fact that when you do struggle on your job, you can go home and kind of get away from it and spend some time with your family. It's a tough game. Very difficult game.
1-2 on Nick Swisher. Off the plate, 2-2.
Here's a high-speed pitch brought to you by Xfinity. A 92 top fastball so far this afternoon for the rookie Jose Alvarez.
20th pitch coming up in this inning for Alvarez.
He struck him out earlier on the changeup.
3-2.
And breaking ball that time. He's done a nice job of going east to west with that breaking ball and the changeup. Down and into the right hander with the breaking ball, fading the changeup, down and away. Avila doing a real nice job of leading the rookie Alvarez this afternoon. He really hasn't shaken him off all afternoon long, which is what you would expect. Avila knows the hitters. Alvarez doesn't know the Cleveland batters.
Here's the 3-2. Drill to left field. That's going to drop. Base hit. And Swisher breaks that 0 for 26 with a single.
And Nick's going to ask for the ball.
And here comes Jeff Jones now, the pitching coach. Avila wanted this one away.
Yeah, it was a cutter, and they got too much plate.
And so Swisher now puts runners at first and second, and he can finally smile for the first time in a while. And really, aside from the home run, the first real trouble for Alvarez in this game, and it comes with 2 outs in the 6th. So after a brief chat with Jones, he will face the cleanup man, Mark Reynolds. 21 clearly the most he has thrown in this game, so he's up to 90 now. But Conan, Smiley still warming up. Reynolds has a strikeout and a walk. Each side now has 3 hits. Reynolds has injected some power into the Indians lineup. 13 homers. Now it's 2-0. A couple of years ago, Reynolds hit 37 home runs with the Orioles. That was 2011, which was the most for a Baltimore batter since Albert Bell in 1999, hit 37. Ground ball, shortstop side, Santiago. He'll get the force. Nice job by Jose Alvarez, pitching out of some trouble here in the 6th. When Jim Leyland saw Jose Alvarez pitch in spring training this year, the one thing he thought was, this kid's not afraid. And Rod, today, he did not look afraid.
Really only one bad pitch, and that was the cut fastball to Rayburn that got too much plate that Rayburn hit out of the ballpark. But for 6 innings, this guy has done really good work. And should Sanchez not be able to make his next start, Alvarez will get that start.
So it's still a 1-1 ball game. Alvarez getting the congratulations from everybody, including his catcher in the dugout, Alex Avila. Those two teaming up for outstanding work today. Now we'll see if the Tigers offense can get it going here against Masterson. Cabrera leads it off, and then Fielder and Martinez. Ball one missing inside. Seven strikeouts in 6 innings. Only 1 run. We are assuming he is done for the day. We don't know. They've had Peconen and Smiley heating up. Ooh, that's way high. 2-1. But based on those congratulations and the hug he got from Avila, he's probably turned in 6, and the Tigers will turn things over to the pen. Meanwhile, it's 3-1 on Cabrera.
If that's the case, it'd be nice for the Tigers to somehow push a run across the board here to get Alvarez in position to win the game.
Well, they've got the artillery to do that. Cabrera, fielder, Martinez.
Good pitch there by Masterson. 3-1. He threw Miggy a breaking ball that fooled Miggy.
There is ball 4. Leadoff man on. Well, just as a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, we look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Here's Prince. Masterson walked 2 in the 2nd, but neither of those walks scored. Now he has one here in the 6th. Ground ball right side, base hit. Fielder has 2 hits today.
And Prince continues to get lots of hits in the month of June.
Two singles today. Prince has been on base now in 44 of his last 46 games. Here's Martinez. He's been on twice, walking a single.
And both Miggy and also Prince need to be aware of the fact that Masterson has uncorked 5 wild pitches this year already, which leads their club.
Victor now sits safely in his last 4. Smiley, meanwhile, is warming up by his lonesome now. Breaking ball, drops in for a strike, 1-1.
And Tigers are shorthanded in that bullpen today. They sent Ortega down. And Papa Grande not available. And Jim actually said he'd like to stay away from Benoit today, if possible.
Well, Alvarez has given them 6 really good innings. 1 run, 3 hits. Well, Martinez popped it up. Right side of the infield, Kipnis to the grass. That's a big out for Masterson. 1 gone. Advanced Country Night at Comerica Park's coming up Saturday, June 22nd. Tigers taking on the Red Sox at 7:15. Prior to the game, enjoy live country music, line dancing, and a whole lot more. 866-66-TIGER or tigers.com for ticket info. Here is Kelly with 2 men on. Ground ball foul. Kelly today has a base on balls, but he popped up his last time. Tigers got their run in the 2nd on a leadoff single, 2 walks and a sac fly by Avila. Rayburn not of the game with a homer in the 5th. Oh, 2. Avila waiting on deck. And Masterson's 0-2 is a ball outside. Try to hit the outside corner with it. 1-2. Tigers trying to win their 4th consecutive game today. Not on his hands that time, and he fouled it straight back. The Indians, meanwhile, trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. And as we mentioned, they've got a 3-game series coming up in Texas. 4.5 up right now are the Tigers. High fly ball right field. Stubbs back. Is it going to carry out? Yes! It's gone. A home run for Don Kelly. How about that? Third of the year.
And now it appears that the young man, Jose Alvarez, will have an opportunity to win his major league debut.
What a clutch knock for DK.
Wasn't it, though? He fell behind Masterson. No balls, 2 strikes. He got him a breaking ball that he basically got right off the dirt, and he flipped it over the head of Stubbs into the right field seats. That is a huge home run.
Jim Leland played Don Kelly over Garcia today because he had good success with another left-handed bat, and he comes through. There's a ball low to Avila. And now Jose Alvarez looking at a 4-1 lead. Here's the 1-0. Foul back out of play. 1-1 on Avila. Donnie Kelly, 3-run shot. It was funny because Kelly almost caught up to Fielder and Cabrera on the base pass. They weren't sure that ball was going to go. Don just kept running. And all 3 of them rounded second base just about at the same time. All that matters is it's 4-1 Detroit. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's outside. 2-2 the count. Third homer of the year for Kelly. 10 RBIs. And the 2-2. High, 3-2. Santiago waiting on deck. Masterson now at 89. This will be his 90th pitch. And a strike called. Avila's out of there.
And one more look at the Don Kelly home run on the breaking ball from Justin Masterson. That really wasn't that bad a pitch, but an unbelievable job by Don Kelly, not only able to get to that ball down and in, but to get underneath it and hit it out of here. That smile just got a little bit bigger on Alvarez.
He's starting to feel it now. Hopefully the Tigers bullpen can nail this one shut and get him his first big league win and his first big league start. Santiago fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Ramon today is 0 for 2, couple of ground balls. Both of these starters today have induced quite a few grounders. Sales high and away, 1-2. Pull to right field. Stubbs backing up. And the inning is over. Don Kelly has given the Tigers and Alvarez a 4-1 lead.
summary. Jose Alvarez making an emergency start here today. Sanchez couldn't go, and boy was he good. 7 strikeouts for the rookie left-hander. Only walked 1 batter. Did a marvelous job in line to win this game. Don Kelly with the biggest blow of the day. A 3-run shot after a walk to Miggy and a base hit single by French fielder.
Which leads us to our Comerica Bank game summary this afternoon. Tigers up 4-1 now as we go to the 7th. These are the numbers on Alvarez. Rayburn a solo homer, his 2nd of the series, and Kelly's 3-run shot. He is the difference right now.
And with the Tigers bullpen being a little short today, this might be one of those outings for Drew where he has a chance to finish this one off if he goes out there and pitches the way that he's pitched all year. Good firm fastball, gets up to 93. Good breaking ball. Really good changeup. 37 strikeouts already this year for Drew Smyly.
Those numbers brought to you by Wallside Windows. The pitching change has Smyly facing Santana, and he takes strike 1. Santana, fly ball, strikeout. 1-1 the count.
Very seldom this year has Jim Leland used Smyly in back-to-back outings, which means once he gets him up, he usually tries to stretch him out as far as Drew will go.
Bounce straight back. Here is the answer to that AT&T trivia question. We told you the question earlier. Which 2 Dominican-born catchers have hit more career home runs than Santana?
Tony Pena has to be one of them.
He is one. Ooh, Olivo. Did you have that one?
I did not have that one.
He actually has the most.
I thought Tony Pena hit more big flies than that.
Me too.
He was a good catcher. Good catcher.
Those were numbers as a catcher, so he may have had some at other positions. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Pretty good chance this young man right here going to fly by by both of those guys with his power. Switch hitter.
2-2 pitch. Grounded foul again. Santana, when he came up in the Dodgers organization before the trade that brought him to Cleveland, was actually a third baseman / outfielder, and they loved his arm strength, so they converted him to the catching position.
He has a really good teacher down in that Cleveland Indians dugout. Sandy Alomar Jr., who is on Terry Francona's staff, and he was a really good catcher.
Did he go? He did not. Of course, the Indians have experience in turning a position player into a catcher. When Victor Martinez was in their system, he was a shortstop when he came up. Sandy Alomar, the catching guru. 3-2 pitch is rolled to third. Fair ball right by the diving Cabrera. It'll bang off the wall in left, and Santana has himself a double. Lead-off 2-base hit.
And great effort here by Miggy down at third base. It's a cutter down that basically Santana, excuse me, just dropped the bat head on it and hit it very hard. Miggy almost made the play.
Only the 4th hit today for the Indians. Yan Gomes stepping in.
I did not know that information on Victor Martinez. I did not know that he was a shortstop.
Yeah, he did. Early on in his career, he was a shortstop. They converted him to behind the plate. Because Victor, I mean, when you look at him physically, shortstop might not be the position, I would think.
Foot speed. For
Right.
me, I'm just thinking about the foot speed.
Oh, 0-1 on Yan Gomes. That's in there. 0-2. Smyly replacing Alvarez. Oh, that was close. Smiley almost threaded the needle there. Missed it by that much. 1-2. There's a swing and a miss. One gone.
Now here's the guy that Smiley has to keep in the ballpark. That would be Ryan Rayburn. He homered yesterday against Poconin, and he's also homered here today. The only big hit that the youngster Jose Alvarez gave up. Look at Mickey. Mickey threw some gum at him or something.
Former teammates having a little fun.
Yeah, just took it out of his mouth and threw it at him.
Rayburn didn't even blink. There's a strike.
Rayburn looking for that fastball inside that cutter. You can watch his approach, and he ever so slightly took that left leg and opened it up, anticipating that he would get that cutter inside from Drew Smiley, but they threw him a fastball away for strike one. Rayburn has good power to the pull field, not a whole lot of power to right field.
Well, Terry Francona wanted him in the offseason, wanted to sign him as a free agent, and Rayburn put himself really on the map quickly in spring training when he homered in his first 3 swing at bats.
Yeah, he made the team in that first week.
You know, the Indians were hooked after that, and he's had a really good start to this campaign. There's a strike, 2-2.
Rayburn said he didn't like baseball last year. He said last year was not a fun season for him. He struggled mightily at the plate, and he was real happy to put last year behind him.
Trying to pick up Santana here, who has doubled to start the inning. Three and two. Rayburn had a stretch earlier this year in which he was 11 for 13. There's Aviles waiting on deck. Seven homers now, 20 RBIs. And Rayburn takes his walk. 2 on now with 1 out. Now the Tigers welcome the Baltimore Orioles to Comerica Park June 17th through the 19th. Tickets are available for all 3 games at 866-66-TIGER. Here's Mike Aviles. In there for strike 1. Aviles now becomes the tying run at the plate. He is grounded out. He is flied out.
And Drew will take another one of those ground balls. Avila has grounded into 3 double plays this year.
1 ball, 1 strike. That is 20 pitches now for Drew Smiley. Strikeout and a walk in this inning and a double. Swing and a miss. Aviles has taken a couple of really violent swings today.
And he continues to cheat for the fastball inside. The left leg just kind of opens up, and he's looking for that ball inside. But when you open up as much as he opens up, and you open up prematurely, your hip's already gone, your front shoulder's gone, therefore your head's going to follow. He's not even seeing the baseball when it gets in the hitting zone.
One and two, the count stays on Mike Aviles. He played for Terry Francona back in 2011 with the Boston Red Sox that year. Stubbs waiting on deck. And again the 1-2. Bouncing ball to third, behind the bag. Miggy has it, tags it one, double play.
Nicely done.
Miguel Cabrera played a tricky hop and turns a 5-3 twin killing. To you by 5-Hour Energy Shots. A little bit cloudy and overcast here in the Motor City. Tigers on top, 4-1.
That is now 4 double plays that Avila's has grounded into. Real nice play by Miguel. And going over, touching the bag with the right foot, throwing off that same foot, but throwing accurately across the diamond to get Smiley out of that jam.
Nice play indeed, because it was starting to look like the Indians might have a rally in them.
Drew Smiley really starting to mature in that particular situation, not panicking at all. Double play was in order, so he simply did what he needed to do, and that was to throw a ground ball.
Well, the Tigers have themselves a 3-run lead here. They are in search of the sweep of this 3-game series here against the Indians. And Drew Smiley taking over for Jose Alvarez, who went the first 6. Smiley gets him through the 7th inning. Now Masterson heading back to the mound as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And Cabrera getting, it appears, more and more comfortable with that position at third base. I mean, he took over last year, and we have seen him, Rod, really use some agility down there now.
Good action at that position. He was a shortstop when he came up in the Marlins organization, so he has pretty good feet. Always gets himself in a good athletic setting before the ball's delivered to home plate. Balls at his feet, moving laterally left and right. And his arm from that position is as strong as just about any third baseman in the American League.
So the Tigers now looking to add to their lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th as Infante, Dirks, and Hunter. 4-5-0 for Detroit. 1-4-0 for Cleveland. Both teams have stranded 4 in this game. As Masterson now approaches 100 pitches, he's thrown 96. Infante is 0 for 2. He looks at a strike. 2-1. The count on Omar. Masterson allowed the 3-run homer to Don Kelly in the 6th inning. A sac fly to Avila in the 2nd inning. Two-2 pitch. High fly ball, left center field. Not very deep at all. Bourne coming over. 0 for 3 now for Omar. 1 gone.
You know, Masterson is a lot like Max Scherzer, and what I mean by that, they both throw from that low 3/4 arm slot, so they really have to work hard to get on top of their breaking balls. Here's a breaking ball here that arm trying to drops on him, and he leaves this ball up in the strike zone.
Bunted by Dirks, a little too sharply to third. Barehanded play, throw. It got away from Swisher. Dirks on his way to second, dives in there.
Outstanding job of base running there by Andy Dirks. Outstanding job. Bunt probably a little bit too hard, but boy, he was running down that line, and right as he got to first base, he took a look to the right, and then he saw the ball go past him, and because of that, he didn't miss a beat and was able to get to second base. That's a play where the first base coach can't help you. You're taught to look to your right just in case it's a bad throw. He did it perfect.
Single E5. The error to Reynolds allows the runner to get to second. It's the 6th Tigers hit. Torrey is the batter. He is 1 for 3 with a single. Chopper slowly toward third. Reynolds again charging. Off balance. This time he made a nice play. Advanced the runner to third with 2 gone. It'll bring up Cabrera. There is action in the Cleveland pen. Albers the righty. Hagedorn is the lefty. Cabrera walked, scored on the homer by Kelly. That was back in the 6th. Ball 1 outside. One the count. Cabrera just 1 for 8 in this series against the Indians. There's a ground ball to short. Aviles is right there. That'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Man left at third. Let's go to the 8th. Tigers into the All-Star game by voting here at Comerica Park or online at MLB.com. You can vote up to 25 times until July the 4th and catch the 84th Major League Baseball All-Star game on July 16th at 8 o'clock on Fox. So make sure you punch in your favorite Tigers. Voting continues. through July the 4th. Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, Torrey Hunter already garnering quite a few votes. And the All-Star game to be played at Citi Field in New York. And again, you can see it on Fox. Smyly back to the hill now as we go to the 8th. And the Tigers have themselves a 4-1 lead. Stubbs leads it off. Then it'll be Bourne and Kipnis.
Good to see that Miguel Cabrera getting as many votes as he has gotten. He's got more votes than any major league player.
Deservedly so. He's finally gotten the attention that he has deserved this year. Here's the 1-1. Drill to right field. Torrey Hunter is going to get there in the gap. 1 out of the 8th.
J.J. Hardy is now leading at that shortstop position. Hunter's in right. Miggy, Trout, Adam Jones, Davis, Maurer, Ortiz, Cano. I really can't argue with any of those guys right there.
I can't either. All of them really off to really good starts. Here's a popped up bunt. Smyly off his glove. And Bourne is safe. Looked like it might hang up long enough, but not quite enough time for Smyly. That's a base hit.
It's a great effort here by Smyly. And Michael Bourne can't bunt down toward third base because Miguel Cabrera doesn't allow him to because he's crowding him so much. So he tried to take that towards second and got himself a base hit.
Here's Jason Kipnis. 5 hits now for Cleveland. 1-0 on Kipnis. Single, couple of ground outs. He's hit safely in every game in this series. Sailing toward foul ground. Dirks on a dead sprint. Can't get there. It's about 3 or 4 rows back.
Kenny Rogers, the former Tigers pitcher, worked a lot with Drew Smyly in spring training on his pickoff move. And for situations just like these, you got a speedy base runner and Michael Bourne. And you make sure you keep him close. Keep your double play in order. Boy, did the Gambler have a good move.
And he could field his position too.
Yes, he won Gold Gloves.
He threw his body around. What did Dirks do here? Little pat on the head. There's the throw down to second with a runner on the move, and he's in there. So Bourne gets the swipe. His 9th.
Bourne was waiting until Drew Smyly showed him his move, which he did on the previous pitch, and then Bourne had a look at the move. Now he knew exactly when he was going to go home, and he went on first movement and able to steal that base rather easily. Michael Bourne not afraid to steal third base. He has stolen third base 38 times in his major league career.
Kipnis trying to knock him home. Another foul back out of play down the left field line. Smyly took over for the starter Jose Alvarez, who made his major league debut and went 6 innings. Smyly came on in the 7th and is pitching here in the 8th. And Joaquin Benoit is also warming up. Hit that ball twice. Right there and right there. 2-2. he is handing out some souvenirs just about the same spot. Another one down the left field line.
I like the pitch choice there. A breaking ball 84 to Kipnis, but the location wasn't good. If he does want to get him out with that particular pitch, he has to make sure that he buries that ball a little bit lower in the strike zone.
Wave and a miss.
There you go.
Finally was able to put him away.
Previous breaking ball was up. This breaking ball at 83, executed perfectly by Drew Smyly.
Tiger pitching with 9 strikeouts. 7 of those by the starter, Jose Alvarez. Here is Swisher. We've broken 0 for 26 with a base hit back in the 6th inning. Strike 1.
First pitch changeup to Swisher.
Smyly has thrown 37 pitches since coming on in the 7th inning. Nick Hagedorn still warming up for the Cleveland Indians. Here's the 1-1. Lifted to right field. Torrey backing up to the warning track to make the play, and that is that for Cleveland. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. That MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. It's available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and even your BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Tigers baseball with live audio, stats, news, pitch tracking, highlights, and a whole lot more. Text at bat to 31826. A couple of cuties at the ballpark today enjoying Tigers baseball. And right now it's 4-1 Detroit. We have a new pitcher coming on for the Cleveland Indians. Wallside Windows pitching change. It's Nick Hagedorn.
Hagedorn checks in with a 635 earned run average. He's already pitched 17 innings this year, 19 outings. Opponents hitting only .220 against Hagedorn. However,
fielder Martinez Kelly as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Hagedorn delivers a strike, 0-1.
Justin Masterson really didn't pitch all that poorly. The ball that Don Kelly hit out of the ballpark really wasn't a horrible pitch. But he's trailing 4-1. He only gave up 6 hits.
Big swing there by Prince. Yeah, the pitch that he threw to Don Kelly was, as you say, not a really bad pitch.
Outstanding contact by DK.
So you take that away, and all he gave up was the sac fly to Avila back in the second. We're not going to take it away. Here's the 0-2. He chased one there and popped it up.
That ball was over his head.
Avilas is under. 1 out.
Santana, the catcher, was asking for it up, and Hagedorn threw it exactly where he was asking for it, and Prince tried to get on top of it.
Tigers box score. Shows Fielder's had a nice day. Of course, Kelly's had the 3-run homer. Here's Martinez batting right-handed against the lefty Hagedorn. It'll go down the left field line. Foul. Got a hold of that one pretty good.
He's been turning on some stuff in this homestand. And it really doesn't matter which side of the plate that he's swinging the bat from. Really using his legs. And when you use your legs and you have a good foundation, your bat is a lot quicker. A lot quicker. When I played over in Japan, when the Japanese players used to struggle from an offensive standpoint, the coaches would make them run the entire practice because they told the Japanese players your legs aren't in shape. So in order for you to start hitting again, you have to get your legs in shape. So they would just run and run and run.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it work?
For them it did. And they didn't make us do it.
Here's the 1-1. In the air, dead center field, and Bourne is under. Here's the question: if they did ask you to run, would you have run?
Yeah, I would have. Yeah. I mean, you don't buck the system over there, really. I mean, the American players that did play over there, that followed the rules, you stayed a long time. And if you did not follow the rules over there, then you would not get a chance to play.
There's that pitch we talked about that Kelly hit out. It was a 3-run shot in the 6th. And right now the difference. Also has a walk. Ball missing outside. 1 ball, no strikes. So if you didn't follow the rules, there was a good chance you were going to be sent home.
Yeah, they get you out of there. A lot of American players went over there and just lasted 1 year.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Hagedorn trying to get a 1-2-3 8th inning. So Kelly now is 1 pitch away from drawing his 2nd walk of the game. There have been 11 hits in this game, 6 for Detroit, and the Indians have 5. Each team is stranded 5 in this game as well. There's ball 4. So Kelly walks for the 2nd time, on base for the 3rd time in the game. Don't forget, after this one is done, Tigers Live postgame coming up. You'll hear from skipper Jim Leland, his thoughts on this one. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about the debut of Jose Alvarez. Tigers Live immediately after the game. It's right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
He couldn't have done any better, Jose Alvarez.
No, literally. I think you're right. Avila had a sac fly, which got the Tigers on the board back in the 2nd. And he looks at ball 1. Avila now with 13 RBIs this year. As we peek ahead on the score sheet to the 9th inning, Reynolds, Santana, Gomes, 4-5-6 for the Cleveland Indians. One ball, one strike. All smiles right now on the Tigers bench.
Peralta enjoying his day off.
Here's the 1-1. Hit to the second baseman on a soft line. Kipnis hauls it in the inning. So we are going to the 9th, where the Tigers will try and put the finishing touches on this one. It'll be Reynolds, Santana, Gomes coming up for the Tribe. To put the finishing touches on a sweep here of the Cleveland Indians. And while you're at it, don't forget to vote for your favorite Tigers for the All-Star game. 4-1 is our score as we go to the 9th. It'll be last call time now for the Tribe, and the Tigers will send out Joaquin Benoit.
And Joaquin Benoit getting an opportunity to close today with Papa Grande not being available. His numbers are certainly worthy of this chance to close this one out.
Benoit will be facing Reynolds, Santana, Gomes. They are the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the Cleveland lineup. And the Tigers 3 outs away from winning their 35th game of the year. It would send Cleveland on to Texas with a 7-game losing streak. And the Tigers would hit the road with a 4-game win streak, but 3 outs remain. Reynolds leading it off. 0 for 2 with a walk today. Reynolds batting .240. And there's a ball high as we get the 9th inning underway. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's it for a strike. It's starting to rain.
Yeah, people are scattering.
I knew something was up. A couple of umbrellas are popping up as well. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Light rain falling here at the ballpark now. Here's the 2-1. High, 3-1. More than just sprinkles right now. It's a fairly steady rain. And the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Reynolds had a rip at that one. Phil Koch warming up in the Detroit bullpen in case his services are needed. And they were last night. He faced 4 batters late in the game and retired all 4, 2 via strikeout. And he foul tipped into the glove for strike 3. That's 10 strikeouts for Tigers pitching.
It's a nice job by Joaquin after falling behind Reynolds, a 3-1, and to come back with 2 fastballs that split the middle. And the last one up in the zone that Reynolds couldn't catch up to.
1 for 14 against Joaquin Benoit in his career. That would be 071. The 1 was a grand slam, wasn't it?
You got it.
That was a game-winning grand slam.
You got it.
Ooh, look out! There goes the mask of Avila.
That's when Joaquin was going through some of his issues, where just about every hit he gave up for about a 3-week stretch was a big fly.
Fortunately, those stretches have been few and far between. Santana had a double. That was in the 7th inning to lead things off, but they couldn't score him. Here's the 0-1.
Benoit came to spring training in great shape this year, and he is a free agent after this year's over. And the very first pitch he threw in spring training was 95 miles an hour, and he's been throwing at that velocity ever since.
Two and one. Tigers playing Santana with a shift. 3 defenders to the right of second base. Here's the 2-1 from Benoit. 2-2 on Carlos Santana. Now the 2-2 pitch. It is drilled to right field. That ball is going to get down up against the wall. Hunter plays the carom. Here comes the throw to second base. Going to be offline. And it's a diving double for Santana, his second 2-base hit of the day.
This ball right here was smoked off the bat of Santana, and he really had to get on his horse to get a double, because he did not get out of the batter's box very quickly, and Torrey played the carom perfectly and came up and threw the ball hard, but Ramon Santiago had to come off the bag.
$16 doubles on the year now for Santana. We've got a pinch hitter for Gomes. That would be Jason Giambi, who played in the first game in the series. And he is pinch hitting for Gomes here in the 9th with a man at second. Giambi, as a matter of fact, homered in the first game of the series. Here's the 1-0. That's in there. They had a stat in the Cleveland Notes yesterday about Giambi's home run here 2 nights ago. He became the second oldest player to homer in this ballpark at the age of 42 home runs. The oldest player to homer in this ballpark, Omar Vizquel, at the age of 43. Here's the 1-1. One and 2 the count. Vizquel and Giambi, 2 very different players. Now Benoit's 1-2. Fouled off.
Omar Vizquel has a legitimate shot of getting to the Hall of Fame with all the Gold Gloves that he won. A lot of hits.
He'd get my vote. Not too many that can play the shortstop position better than Omar Vizquel.
Never seen him get a bad hop. Had great hands.
One ball, 2 strikes on Giambi. Here's the 1-2. High fly ball. Shallow left. Two gone. One more out to go, and it's Ryan Rayburn stepping in. Rayburn's gotten heavily booed this entire series. He's also hit a couple of home runs. And he's batting here with 2 outs. Rayburn homered back in the 5th. Tied the game at 1. And it was the only run that Alvarez gave up. Cabrera threw his gum at him. 0-1 on Rayburn. Two on Rayburn. Now the crowd of 41,262 sensing victory here. One more strike for Benoit to get. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Real nice homestand. Real nice homestand.
11 strikeouts for Tigers pitching today. Jim Leyland's squad sweeps the Indians out of town. And the Tigers win 5 out of 6 on this homestand before they hit the road. Don Kelly with a big load today. And a good win for the Tigers. Indians now have lost 7 straight. Tigers have won 4 consecutive ball games. Joaquin Benoit finished this one off.